Dan, we've got an Apple event coming up. Is it going to be a big one, or do we already know what's generally on the slate?
Well, hi, Oliver. I think if we had this conversation a couple weeks ago, we'd all be talking about the possibility that Apple would be introducing their new 5G phones at this upcoming event today. But unfortunately, I don't think that's probably going to happen. I think it's going to be mostly focused on the iPad and also on the Apple Watch, and then a few other bells and whistles down the road. But I don't see the magic bullet that everybody is going to be looking for, which is the 5G. And unfortunately, I think we're going to have to probably wait till October before we get more information on those new phones coming out.
So Dan, what does that mean for the company, and what does it mean for the valuation, the way we think about Apple right now? Because it seems like everything needs to be going off just about perfect, right? I mean, we came about 10% off the highs, but we're still near them for Apple and so many others in this group.
Well, you're right, Oliver. I mean, the stock trades at 39 times earnings, and if we go back and look at the last quarter, it was kind of units that were long forgotten, right? iPad and also the Mac had tremendous growth that was very much unexpected because of the stay-at-home initiative or work-from-home initiative. So as we kind of go into this next quarter, I think Apple's going to be leaning on those, hopefully new features that'll be introduced. I know they're supposed to come up with an iPad that potentially could be kind of in the middle between the iPad Air and the iPad Pro. There's talking about edge-to-edge screen and so forth, but I think you're right, Oliver. I don't see a kind of a huge announcement that's going to, drive the stock going into the next quarter.
Okay, so Dan, it doesn't sound like you're super giddy here on Apple at $118.
Well, Oliver, we own a huge position in Apple, over 900,000 shares. We have a cost basis that's a little over $1. We put the stock on our buy list back in 2005. It's over a $2 trillion market cap. It's trading at, like we said, almost 40 times earnings, probably growing around 10% if you look at the expectations in terms of EPS going into this year. So we're still positive on the company, still optimistic going forward, just not expecting any huge announcements today in regards to any huge new products that would, let's say, drive the stock higher.
Dan, with your early entry into Apple and many of the others here, are you at a point where you're taking profits or thinning positions across big tech?
Well, it's tough, Oliver, because as you know, those names have done so well, right? Amazon, Apple have been the two best performers. It's very difficult to start to pull back on shares just because they're some of the better performing stocks in our portfolios, and the fundamentals are still basically intact. So I guess to answer your question, we're not trimming back on any of our large tech holdings, even though they become concentrations in a lot of our portfolios.
Dan, if there's not a good reason to think that this event's for Apple going to push it up, then what does? Because I hear the message from Apple seems a little bit reticent from you, but you're not going to take any profits yet on it.
Yeah, I mean, Oliver, like I said, there's no big announcement. You've got the watch. They're expected to come out with some announcements surrounding that could be a positive, but I think everyone, quite frankly, Oliver, is still hanging their hat on the introduction of the 5G phone, which every indication I get, Oliver, is we're probably looking sometime in late October to be ready for this holiday selling season. So I think at this point in time, Oliver, for your viewers out there, everyone is still going to be looking for that 5G phone as the next catalyst, and it's coming right around the corner, and that's really what is going to be, I believe, the driving force behind the shares as we kind of close out the year.